Alright, so I have created this container model and it has decent amount of polygons. Now I have already laid out the UVs for this. So let me show you the UVs. These are the UVs, and I have joined all these bits and pieces into one single model, and it is using a single texture. So let's create a new material for this. So go to shading, create new, and I'm going to use two add-ons which you must enable also. So if you go to add-ons, you can search for Node Wrangler and Blender Kit and turn on these two add-ons. Now this is going to be my base material, so let's rename it to base. And I'm going to create a base paint layer, so Shift A, image texture, click on new, and this is the base paint, and I'm going to create it a 2K texture, and let's give it a darker blue color, something like this. We can change it afterwards, however. Now just select it and press Ctrl T, so it adds some mapping. Now let's plug it to base color. So here is our base color. Now I'm going to use a grunge map for specular. So here I have downloaded some grunge maps, and let me just drag it in the node editor. And for this one I'm going to use the generated option. So again I'll press Ctrl T and add the generated to vector. And to see how this map looks on the model, you can just Ctrl Shift click on it. So this is how it looks, and right now it's, because it is linear, I have to change it to cubic and box. So now it works fine. You can also blend so that the edges are blend more nicely. Now I'll just add it to the specular. So here it is, looks good. Let me just increase the roughness, and to make it more subtle I'll just add another mix RGB node. So now the value of this grunge map is just 0.5 and the secondary color is added, so it's a bit subtle. Great. Now let's add the second material. So to add the second material, I'm going to go search for rust material in the Blender Kit library. You can come here and search for rust, and here you can find different materials, and most of them are royalty free. You can use them in your projects. So I'm going to use this one. This is by Willem Duha. So to use it, just select it, drag and drop it onto your model. So here it is. And most of the times when you drag and drop it to your model, it creates its own UV map. You can see it here. It has created an auto map, so we do not need this, and we'll go ahead with our own UV map. So again, go to shading, and now here you can see the material. Let me just select this material, all these nodes, copy this with Ctrl C, go to our base material and just paste it here. Now I will mix this rust material with the existing material that I created. So let me drag it here, and to mix these two, just Control Shift right click over these two, and it automatically creates a mix node. So right now it is mixed with a factor of 0.5. However, I need a mask so that I can control where I need the rust. So Shift A, I'll create an image for that. So it is image texture. Click on new. This is going to be my rust mask, and I'm going to give it a black color for now. And let me plug the vector, the one which has the UV input, and this color will work as the mask for it. So because it is black, the whole rust will be masked. So here you can see it is masked. Alright, so now I'll just paint the rust mask. So let me go to texture paint and select the draw brush, make the color white, and in brush settings just select this rust mask and go down to the texture mask, create new, go to setting, and here in the type select clouds, let it be Blender original and select the type to be hard, and just scale it a little bit. Now come to the draw settings again, and here I'll change the mask mapping to random. Great. So now rust mask selected. I'll just paint it, and I'm using XP pen and with pressure on, so I'll just select this and it turns on the pressure. However, you can use the mouse also. So just zoom it a bit and start painting. So you can see it reveals the rust layer beneath it. I'll just reveal it in the corners. Alright, so now to make it more impactable, I'll just add it to the bump also. So let's go to shading again, and let me zoom in a bit. Let me create a bump map. And I'll just plug the color of this rust mask to the height. And to check it, you can just control click over the bump. So this is how it looks. Let me reduce the strength and just add it to the normal. So here you can see the effect. If I increase the strength, and because it's a bit blurry, what I'll do, I'll add a color ramp in between. So just add a color ramp. Let me make some room. So now you can just clamp these colors. And right now it is opposite of what we want, so I'll just invert it, and to invert it I'll just add invert node. Great. So now you can see this looks great. Let me just reduce the strength a bit. Now you can just continue painting. So while painting you have complete control over it. So for example, if you just painted something more, like you just paint an extra thing here, you can just select the color, make it black, completely black, and just paint over it, and it will just erase it. So the white to black value, this basically controls the opacity of this rust layer. So you can come in and completely erase it, and you can select a mid value like gray, and you can add some strokes here and there like this. Just keep one thing in mind, that when you save the blend file, it does not automatically save the images. So always press this save all images button here, otherwise you can lose this whole painting. Alright, so now in the same way I am going to add another dust texture over it. So that is going to be a simple color texture. So let me go to shading and add another color. So again, image texture, and this is going to be my dust. Let it be 2K and let it be a darker gray color like this. Okay, and this dust color will be again controlled by a mask. So I'll add another image texture. And this is going to be the dust mask. And make the color completely black. And now again mix RGB. So the base paint goes to color 1, the dust goes to color 2, and this dust mask goes to factor. Now I'll show you why I am creating separate color textures every time I am mixing it. It will help me change the color afterwards. It gives me more control. And now this final color will go to base color. Now I'll select this dust mask and paint over it. So here you can see dust mask, and with the same texture mask, the cloud one, I'll start painting the mask. Alright, so I have painted the dust and the base color, and you can see I have also painted these bars separately. So I created another texture of bars and added it on top of it. So now I'll create a stencil on it, and to do that, let me just create another image texture. I'll call it stencil. Give it a 2K texture, and this time make the alpha 0. Create OK, and now I will add this on top of all these. So again create a mix node. This is going to be the color 1, and the stencil will be color 2, and the alpha will be the factor. Now this is the base color, and let me also add the vector. So because right now it doesn't have any alpha, so it doesn't have any color information. So let me select this, go to texture paint, and let me go to side view. So here I will add a stencil. So select this draw, go to texture, remove the texture mask and go to texture, click new, and in these settings open your alpha stencil. So I have created this stencil over here with the name of my channel. So I'll select this one, you can see it here. Now to move or rotate this stencil, you can press right click and it moves, shift right click to scale it, and control right click to revolve it. Now if you have accidentally revolved it and you want it to be on the original position, you can come here and in the stencil section give it the angle of 0, or you can reset the transform. Now again I'll just set it here, and now select the stencil and just paint over it with 100% strength. Great. So now I'll just close it to see it better, and now you can again come in here and just paint some wear and tear over it. So if I go to texture paint, and this time I am going to select this erase alpha option, and in the texture mask I will again select that cloud texture, and then I'll just erase it. So start painting to erase it. I'll just select this pressure, so you can see I can remove the stencil, so it looks a bit weathered. Alright, so here I have finally completed this texturing. So I have added some more decals here and just weathered them the same way. So finally creating this material in this way. So this is my base paint. Suppose I want to create the different base paint, I can just go to texture paint and select the fill tool, select the base paint, make sure there is no stencil or stencil mask, any texture, and you can select any color from here, like the yellow one maybe, and just fill it. So all the remaining textures and decals will be there, and it will just change the color of the base paint. So this is the benefit of procedural material creation. You can come in here and create any base material you want. So this is very helpful for creating multiple versions of same asset. Okay, so for example, if you want to create a different colored container out of this same, you can just go to Shift D, duplicate it, and with this one selected, just go here to material and copy it and name it base second, and in the shading again select the base second material, and this base paint you can just create a new image. There's gonna be base second, and because I have created it without alpha, you can see the rest of the textures. So I can come here and select any color like red one and fill it. So this is how you can easily create multiple versions when you have properly set up the material in the node editor. So thank you so much. I'll see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.